the remnant that have fled to Basra. We'll see that here in a minute. See, the armies are at Basra, Jeremiah 49, Micah 2. The world army pursues the remnant which has fled to the mountains of Edom in Jordan. So the whole shift that's who they're after. It's my understanding that Satan thinks he can thwart the plan of God by wiping out the faithful remnant before they petition him to come back. And we have the national regeneration of Israel. The required confession occurs. The key verse here to me is Hosea 5:15. But there's others. You can take them and go through your notes and dig into them. There's a 3-day campaign of pleading in Hosea 6 that follows that. And the national confession is detailed for us in Isaiah 53, 1-9. That's the real fulfillment of Isaiah 53. Many people don't realize Isaiah 53 is yet future. It's their discovery of all those things that it mentions. And then, of course, we have the second coming. Now, the good news is we're going to take this as a special topic when we get to the fifth horseman. Because he's going to fight at Basra alone. And that person is none other than the Messiah. And all that will be detailed when we go through Isaiah 63. If you want to get into it, just take a good look at the half a dozen verses of Isaiah 63 and so forth. And we have this strange mention. See, from Megiddo to Petra is 1,600 furlongs, which are specifically detailed for us in Revelation chapter 14, interestingly enough. So that's what's going on in it. From Basra to the valley of Jehoshaphat. The Antichrist is powerless before Christ. His armies are destroyed at Basra. And the Megiddo, as I say, it's 176 miles there. And then the final is the victory ascent to Mount of Olives. That's what we always read about, Zechariah 14 and so on. So he doesn't first come to Olives, he goes there to fight for the remnant, and then apparently goes there. So that's our presumption. But let's talk about this one, which is probably the most traveled piece of prophecy in modern times. Ezekiel 38 and 39, the so-called Magog invasion. And so I'm going to suggest that it may be preceded by an event that we'll come to shortly. So I'm going to give you a little different point of view. I think there's a surprise on our horizon. And so the Magog invasion, that's the occasion in which God himself intervenes in history to quell an ill-fated invasion of Israel by Magog and his allies. Magog and his allies try to invade, but they get thwarted by God, his intervening in that whole thing. And his allies are listed for us there. Persia, Cush, Put, Libya, Gomer, Togarmah, Meshech, and Tubal. Do you ever wonder why they use these weird names? It's our fault. We keep changing the names of things. You know, there's a place called Petrograd, and then it was called Leningrad. Now it's back and forth, back and forth. In Russia, they say even the history is uncertain. But